I was watching the Super Bowl on Sunday and I saw a couple ads on there that really made me sick. This is the number one offender. The Dodge Ram Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. built to serve ad. Now, this speech that was given by Dr. King in February 4th, 1968 is called The Drum Major Instinct. Now, the Drum Major Instinct is about serving, and he uses the drum major because the drum major is the guy in front of everybody. The guy who says, "Look at me." He's the guy with the big hat that's moving around wildly and throwing the baton up in the air, gaining a lot of attention. Look at me. Dr. King uses the drum major as something that you should not be. You should not be out front going, "Look at me." You should be serving. Now, the interesting part about that is the Super Bowl ad is the most expensive ad that you can buy. And it says, "Look at me. I am in the Super Bowl. Look at me." So that's a contradiction right there. Now, even more contradictory is the fact that in his speech, the Drum Major Instinct, that they quote here, Dr. King says, "This explains why we are often so taken by advertisers. You know, those gentlemen of massive verbal persuasion. They have a way of saying things to you that kind of get you in a bind." So they use a speech which Dr. King warns you against advertisers, and they use it to advertise. So there's a lot of hypocrisy going on here before the ad even starts. Now, this guy is not serving. The speech, the drum major, is about serving. It's about service. Dr. King takes an example of Jesus in the book of Mark, where his disciples ask him, "How can we be great? Who's going to be greatest among us after you're gone? We want to be great. We want to be the guy. After you die, Jesus, we want to be the guy. Who's it going to be? Who are you going to pick?" And Jesus tells them about being great. And he says being great is to serve. Not to be out there, rah, 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 look at me. It's to serve somebody, to help them, to serve them, to put yourself in a position of service voluntarily. Because when you do it voluntarily, that's when it has the most power. You are taking your time, your life, and you are directing it towards the service of others. This guy is working a job, so the verbal persuaders are using the idea of you working a job being in service. And that is not true. This man is not serving as Jesus was talking about and Dr. King was talking about. Now, the guy at the desk is also not serving. You do not serve by sitting at a desk or reading. You do not serve. They are implying he is studying. This is not service. You are not serving. Anybody playing a football game is not serving. You are not serving your community by being on a football game with other men playing a game. This is not what Jesus or Dr. King was talking about. A commercial fisherman, once again, here's the idea of him serving. No, he's working. He is working hard. I respect him. But he is not serving. Dodge Ram put him in a position of making you want to believe that they want you to believe that he's serving. He's working. He is not serving. The verbal persuaders are using image persuasion and actors to get you to find something in here that this is service. This is not service. Now here is where the verbal persuasion does come in, because Martin Luther King himself says, wonderful. And then what do you see visually? The Dodge pickup, the Ram. So the verbal persuasion coupled with image persuasion is in full effect. Now, I can't really tell if this is a small family farm or this is a beef production facility. Beef production facilities do not serve. These gentlemen are not serving if they are in the beef production industry. If this is their own cattle ranch, I salute you for your service. Once again, I salute people who will teach students, who will teach younger people and mentor them to be servers, to be helpers, to be in the community, contributing. Now, if a modern day teacher teaching a modern day public school curriculum is actually helping or serving, that's another question. But in this ad, I'm not going to knock a teacher. Now here they are 100% serving. These people are 100% serving. They are in service right now to themselves, to their family, to their surrounding neighbors, they are serving 100%. Now, did you notice how he said a new vision of greatness and Dodge cuts to their truck? So they use Martin Luther King's words and cut to their truck. In order to make your neighbor envious, you must drive this kind of car. A new form of greatness. This kind of car. Isn't it funny that Dr. King warned you against these advertisers using verbal persuasion to get you to drive this kind of car? And right when he says a new vision of greatness, we have what? This brand new truck, a new vision, a truck you may not have seen the design of before, a new vision of greatness. A new definition of greatness. Ram truck. What do you know, Dodge? A woman with her child. Beautiful. Now I have a big problem with this one, because we have a guy who appears to have some sort of gun case, appears to be going into a dark military helicopter, and appears to be getting airlifted out of someplace maybe he shouldn't be, where he was shooting somebody. I don't know what this is specifically, but that's what it implies to me, and that is not service. That is not what Jesus intended in his service idea, and that is not what Martin Luther King meant by his drum major instinct speech, where he implied that you should be serving, not shooting people. Teaching somebody to be self-sustaining can be serving 100%. These guys, I'm not sure what they're doing. I applaud them if they're helping their community. Now here is where the Ram truck brings in the idea of God being connected to it. The idea of a church being on the back of a Ram truck, and a Ram truck carrying the church. And Martin Luther King's voice echoing over the top while the Dodge truck carries the church. Anybody helping animals, I applaud you 100%. Rescuing animals, got nothing but respect for you. Now this is where it gets sick, because they imply that serving in the military is serving. The word serving in the military is a misnomer on the word serve used by the verbal persuaders that Dr. King warned you of. And here we have the perfect example of advertisers being verbal persuaders. Built to serve. No. These guys are not serving. They are in the military. You do not serve in the military. Let me give you another example of service used in a way that is not in line with what Jesus was talking about, nor what Dr. King was talking about. In tennis, you serve a ball. Roger Federer is a tennis player. He serves a ball. When he is serving, he is in service. So, Roger Federer in service, meaning he's the one who's serving the ball. He's not built to serve. He's not serving his community. He's not in the process of helping his community. He's not in the process of serving his God, of serving his Lord, of serving his people. He's in the process of serving a ball, just like these guys are not in the process of serving. They are quote unquote serving in the military, but they are not serving. They are not in service, as Martin Luther King, Dr. King explains in the Drum Major Instinct. This is not what he was talking about. And I want to say that I do have respect for any man who wants to stand up and defend his country and put his life on the line. You have my respect. Not that you need it, but I'm just saying I respect you. I do not respect Dodge using you as an example of something that is built to serve, because in my opinion, being in the military is not serving as Dr. King is explaining it in his speech. Now this is service. This is 100% service. A child needs help. A child needs protection. A child needs a covering. And here's someone helping. Here is someone serving. Here is someone taking their time to help this child. This is a great example of service. Helping people is service. Have nothing but respect for these guys that go out and put their life on the line to save people they don't know and put out fires. Nothing but respect for these guys. And it's disingenuous for Dodge to compare them to a truck. There you go. See how the truck busts through the fire? I'm shaking my head. This is not service, but this is certainly a valuable tool for helping this woman. But this is not service because she's probably not volunteering and she is probably not taking her time. She's probably getting paid. So I don't consider this service as Jesus or Martin Luther King, Dr. King, was talking about. Now, anybody playing football, anybody in a football game on the field is 100% not in service. They are not serving you. They are not serving me. They are not serving their community. They are playing a football game. And Dodge has these people in prayer to once again bring the Spirit into the idea. Well, Jesus never talked about football players or football games or entertainment, and Jesus was not talking about being in service and being the greatest, being the highest that you could be by giving your life to a football game. And I love football. So don't get me wrong, I love football. But being on a football field is not being in service. Once again, this is not service. And a Dodge Ram is not built to serve in terms of the way Dr. King was explaining service and the way Jesus explained service. A Ram truck is a robot, a primitive robot that is controlled by you. It is your control that determines where it goes. It cannot serve by its very existence as a mechanism to be controlled by man. A Dodge truck is sold to somebody. Service is given for free. Service in the way that Jesus was talking about it, in the way that Dr. King was talking about it, is given away for free. You have to buy a Dodge Ram truck. It's not built to serve. You control it. Last time you went off the road, I'm not saying you did, but if you go off the road in your car, does somebody ask you, did your car fail to serve you correctly? Is that why it took you off the road? No. They say, did you lose control of your vehicle? What happened? A truck does not serve. No truck serves. No Dodge product serves, and nobody selling you a truck is serving you. And to use Dr. King's speech, the drum major instinct is not serving us. Now, here is the speech. It's called the Drum Major Instinct. Notice it has 10,000 views. And it's been on there for, you can't see it, but it's been on there for 3 years. It's got 10,000 views. This one has been on here for 2 days, and it's got 1.3 million views. So, if you want to understand service the way Dr. King really meant you or wanted you to understand it, please listen to this speech.